You know that I love going to Dollar Tree and finding items that I can reuse in different ways for DIY crafts. Today we're working with some seashells. I love that they have these year round and they come in different tones in these little baggies that you can buy, and they have tons in them. I'm going to head to my garage and find a piece of scrap 2x4. I found this one actually right away. I grabbed it. I wish it was a little longer, but it's going to work. I took it inside. I'm just going to sand it down just a bit. It was grimy and it was splintery. So I removed all of that and wiped it down. I'm going to give it a rough one coat of Waverly chalk paint in the white. This is just going to brighten it up, and I will distress it here in a bit. Now I'm going to take some drop cloth. Drop cloth you can find at the hardware store or other places, even online. And I love working with drop cloth. It's very inexpensive. So I'm going to take a dowel and I'm going to start marking where I want to cut because I want to make a sailboat. Now, drop cloth, if you rip it, it gives you that nice, like, flared look or a frayed look, and I love it. So I want to make sure that both of my sails have the frayed style on the ends. So I'm just cutting as needed, making sure that I am placing the dowel where I want it, measuring and cutting to make sure that the sails are the size that I need and that the frays are facing outward. So here I'm just finalizing some cuts. Now on one of the sails, I do want to paint some stripes. So I'm just going to tape it here, and then I'm just going to use this paint that was left over from another project my daughter was working with. So I'm just going to use it. It's a beautiful green tone that we mixed together. So I'm just going to paint those stripes and then remove the tape. I'm going to give that a little bit to dry. Now I'm just going to just stress pretty heavily the piece of board. Now you don't have to do this. This is completely optional. I'm just going to distress it and wipe it. And then I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to switch out the drill bit to a size that fits the dowel. I'm going to make a hole right in the center on top. And then it's time to assemble these sails. So I'm just going to hot glue the drop cloth to the dowel. And then I'm just going to hot glue the other one right next to it. Now the dowel was just a little bit too long, so I'm just going to cut off whatever I need, add some glue, and then place it right in there. It's not going to go anywhere. Then I'm just going to add one of these designs that you can find at Dollar Tree. There's one with a seashell design, which is appropriate for today's video. And I'm just going to cut off all the details that it has, but I'm not going to take them anywhere because I'm going to reuse them. I'm going to hot glue this one right on the left side of the board, just as a nice detail. Now this little tassel, I'm just going to hot glue to the top of the sail. I just thought it would look perfect hanging right there. And look how adorable this looks. I put it first because it's my personal favorite. I love the relaxed look and neutral colors it has. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take this starfish wreath form and more drop cloth. For this one, we're going to cut some strips. They're about maybe 3 inches wide. It doesn't matter. I'm going to cut them and just tear them. Again, I want to see that fray edges. So I'm going to cut them, and then I'm going to remove any strings that are left over. It does get a little stringy, so just be patient with that. And then we're just going to literally wrap these starfish. I'm going to like speed it up quite a bit here because all I'm doing is basically wrapping it, making sure that I'm tightening as much as possible. So if you're going to recreate this, just make sure they're not loose. Just make sure you're tightening as you go, cutting and hot gluing. Friends, I would love to connect with you on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and I always have those links down below in the description box. So make sure you check them out when you are done watching. Okay, so I admit this took a little longer. That's why I sped it up, but it worked out well. All right, so now I'm going to take this pick. Now, I'm going to be very honest. This is a winter pick, but I just thought it had this like seaweed look. I don't know. Tell me, does it look like seaweed or does it totally look like evergreen? I'm just going to cut a few pieces and then hot glue them to the left side of the wreath form, keeping the shape of the starfish. And then I'm going to take one of these sand dollars from Dollar Tree and hot glue it right in the center. I'm going to add more seashells here and there to add more that white tone that I'm looking for and just to add texture. I'm also going to add additional picks just to fill it in where it needs to. I love the way this one turned out. The neutral colors are so classic. I love beach decor, especially with this neutral tone. Beautiful. For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take the 2023 calendar. This is their summer beachy theme one. Look at these beautiful designs. You can use these in multiple DIYs. Oh, I love using them. All right, so we're going to take this one. It has that seashell kind of look to it. And I'm just going to use one of these boards, which I recently used for a different DIY craft. But today we're going to do something different. So I'm going to remove the little hooks from it. I'm going to remove the center portion by just pressing outwards very carefully. I'm going to paint the frame white. You don't have to paint it. The beautiful wood tone is fine. It's just what I would prefer. So I just did it white, let that dry. Then I'm going to take the middle portion. I'm just going to sand down those edges. It does keep a little bit of roughness, so smoothing it out works. I'm going to spray adhesive the top and then place the calendar page right on top. I'm going to smooth it out as much as possible, as well as with a towel. It just removes any bubbles that you may see. To remove the edges, instead of cutting, I love to sand it down, so I'm going to use my electric sander. It just goes so much quicker, and those edges turn out so smooth. Remove the excess paper, and then we're just going to hot glue it right back onto the center of the frame. Add a little bit of hot glue, place it, press it, and then I'm going to place some seashells. So this is a starfish from Dollar Tree as well. I'm just going to hot glue it right there in the center. And then I'm going to hot glue some seashells going upwards and on the bottom of the frame. Friends, I would love for you to join my email list and stay up to date with current uploads and any current news from my channel. So that link is in the description box. So when you're done watching, if you want to join, check it out. So I'm almost done with the seashells, and I just felt like something was missing. So recently I did another beach theme decor, and I added nautical rope like I'm doing here in this wavy style. And I thought I can do it also to this one, and I think it was the perfect addition. It just makes it look grander and just gives it that much more texture. So I'm just going to hot glue it to the frame in a wiggly kind of wavy look, cut off the excess, and that's it. This one is actually a surprising favorite of mine. Let me know what you think. Such a smart way to use these calendars. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I am going to take this mason jars from Dollar Tree. It's the kind that you can even do some canning. I'm going to remove the top and I'm going to paint the threaded portion, but I'm not going to reuse the middle portion. I'm just going to give it a white coat until it's fully dry. Then I am going to place some stones. These stones are from Dollar Tree. You can find them year round. And I'm just going to place maybe about 1/3 of the jar up. That way we're going to have a nice platform. Now I wish I would have had maybe sand. White sand would have been perfect. But these stones did well. Now I'm going to take the threaded top. I'm just going to place it right back on it. And now I'm going to bring in the seashells. So these are the white ones. And I'm just going to start hot gluing them all around the rim on top. And I was surprised at how well they stuck together. I am now going to take one of these votive candles from Dollar Tree. They have a fresh linen scent, and I'm going to place one right inside. Now, because it was rocky, it just kind of wobbled a little bit. So I'm just going to add some rocks all the way around on the sides in between the jar and the candle. And this really tightened it and secured it in place. I wanted to add some nice summer colors. So I'm going to take this burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. It has a beautiful teal tone. And I'm just going to wrap it around at the bottom of the jar. Very simple. Just going to cut a piece, fold it in half, and I'm just going to add it, hot gluing it in place. I'm going to add some white jute string in the center of the ribbon. This is just going to add more character, just a little bit of pop of color and contrast on that ribbon. I'm just going to make a very simple knot. I'm not going to tie it in a knot in a bow because it's going to be covered anyway. So I'm just going to do a knot and cut off the excess. Now I wanted to add some greenery. So these little faux greeneries I get on Amazon, and they have that seaweed look. So I'm just going to use these and just hot glue 3 little leaves right there where the knot meets. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add one more seashell with tons of hot glue right there in the center. And I think this one is absolutely stunning. Such a fresh look, and at night looks gorgeous lit up. Such an easy DIY craft to make. And I would love to know which one is your favorite. I have to still pick the first one, the sailboat. But let me know in the comment which one is your favorite. And I have another video here for you to watch. Make sure you check it out, click on it. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.